Hey everybody, welcome back to another video from Cisco Kid Records. I'm Gary, and today I have a bunch of albums with cool covers, the second installment of that, I guess you could say, along with some recent pickups that I'm going to go over with you just a little bit, and something else that's come up in some conversations lately among buyers and sellers like myself. And that is about pallet records you buy from a seller or a warehouse that come in a big pallet. They've been stacked there forever. They may be several years old. They're still sealed. Should you open them? Should you leave them sealed when you try to sell them, before you sell them? And I think there's some debate about that. I know a lot of people like to receive sealed records. A lot of people don't want to receive warped records. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit, and I'm going to open a couple for you and see what we find in those. But first, let's get into the cool covers. One of my favorite things. I did this on my last video, A through C, I think. And this is D through G. D through G. First, I alphabetize my albums by first name. Don't throw rocks at me. Not by last name, but by first name. And it's just easier that way. But this is Dio, Last in Line. Great cover. Just killer demon there on the cover, or whatever the hell that thing is. But I love it. It's a great one. This one is very, very cool too. The Dukes of Stratosphere, 25 o'clock. Look at that. A lot of psychedelic, proggy type, beautiful artwork there. Isn't that something? And this is a great album. Cool, cool music from the Dukes of Stratosphere. P-H-E-A-R. Here's another one. Speaking of Ronnie James Dio, this is Elf. Elf's first album. And man, look at that evil little rascal. I love that. And when I first started building up my collection, especially with Ronnie, this was a hard one to find. And I found it here in town in Wilmington. So here's a beautiful one. This is Ethos' first record. Their second record is just as pretty. This is Ethos Armor, and it is super, super gorgeous. Look at that cover. Isn't that something? Great, tasty prog there. This one is the favorite cover of a friend of mine, and he said every time he sees it, it just cracks him up. And it used to when we were kids, because we used to listen to this band and this album all the time. But this is Foghat's Fool for the City. And look, he's sitting there fishing out of a manhole cover. And that's pretty funny here. At least it was to my buddy Trail. He loved that one. Here is a great cover, just gorgeous, Gentle Giant octopus cover. Yeah, man. Isn't that something? The colors on that are just gorgeous. Look at that. This is a beautiful, beautiful copy. Actually, it's the only Gentle Giant record I have in my collection, but man, it's fantastic, and that cover just slaps, man. It's awesome. Here's a more recent one. This is Gin Lady. This is Gin Lady's latest album. Came out 2023, I want to say, maybe 2024. I'm thinking it might have been 2024. Before the Dawn of Time. Great stuff. Great stuff. My album of the year. Actually, might have been last year, 2025, because this was my album of the year. So good. So good. Love this cover by stoner rock band Gnome. Look at that. Look at that cover. Isn't that something? Great, great music by the band Gnome. This is a band from Texas. It's called Greenbeard. I can't pronounce the name of this album, but this is, I think, their second record. But it has their killer song Battleweed on it. I saw them here in Wilmington, actually, with a couple of other bands, and was able to pick this up directly from the band, and it's just so, so good. And the last one is one of my favorite bands, Grim Reaper. See You in Hell, My Friend. The late Steve Grimmett. Great cover. Look at that thing. Woo! The Grim Reaper there on the cover of that album. Great covers. I hope you enjoyed those. I'll have some more for you maybe in the next video. Right now I'm going to show you some recent pickups that I've had. I've actually been very fortunate just here in Wilmington since January to pick up, I don't know, about 200 records, 300 records, something like that. And a lot of them from friends, and just being in the right place at the right time, or somebody calling me over and saying, hey, I got some records, you want them? And I'm like, I'll take them. You know, they're like, nah, I don't want them. So they were given to me. Well, do you want them? And I'm like, sure. And so that's how I picked up a few of these here that I'm going to show you. But this is Southern Pacific. I haven't listened to this one yet. I've cleaned all these. Southern Pacific. It's like country rock or something. Pretty cool cover there. This is a nice one. This is a UK pressing, The Best of Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire. Really pretty. Nice cover there on that one. This one is a hard one to find around here. This is Woodstock. It's a 3-record set. It's a 3-record set of Woodstock. The music from the original soundtrack and more. Great, great stuff. I'm very excited about playing that one. These I've already played, have cleaned and play tested, and put a price on them and graded them. This is Dolly Parton and George Jones. It's a killer record, man. From 1969. One side, side A is Dolly singing her favorites, and side B is George singing his favorites. Nice record. Look how beautiful Patsy was. Goodness sakes, Patsy Cline Showcase. It's a 63 mono. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. I Fall to Pieces. It has to be one of the best songs ever written. And Hank Harlan and who else wrote that? Hank Cochran and Harlan Howard. Hank Cochran and Harlan Howard wrote some great country music. This is one you see, you know, every now and then pops up. This is a 67 repress actually. Played it today. Sounds really good for a copy that's kind of beat. It's I would grade it good plus, VG minus. It has a lot of dinks and scratches and some noise, but it plays through really clean. Speaking of clean copy, this is beauty. Sade, Diamond Life, Smooth Operator. Really nice. This is a good one. Stevie Wonder, Intervisions. Very, 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 very good album. And then one of my favorite albums ever, in my top 5 albums of all time for me, is the Cars debut album. This is a club pressing from '78, and it's solid, man. It's just a beautiful, beautiful copy. And those will be at the Wilmington Record Show. If you haven't marked that on your calendar, if you're in the Wilmington, North Carolina area, or, you know, Myrtle Beach, the Carolinas, it's not too far to get to Wilmington from the Raleigh area and Greensboro and down in here. It might be a good day to drive down. Next Saturday, February the 21st, at Waterline Brewery will be the Spring Wilmington Record Show. We will have like 20-some vendors, 21 vendors, thousands of records, thousands of CDs and cassettes and music memorabilia. There'll be live DJs, music. There will be food trucks and some of the best beer in Wilmington. And the people there at Waterline always treat us really well. And so if you can put that on your calendar, go look it up on Facebook. I'll try to put the link in the description of this video here in a little bit. But yeah, the Wilmington Record Show next Saturday, February the 21st. It's going to be a really, really good time. Now, like I was talking about earlier, there's been some discussion among at least friends of mine and like collectors and sellers that buy pallet records. You know, they buy records from other sellers that have been sitting in a warehouse for God knows how long. And, you know, they get them and they sell them, and their customers say, man, that thing was warped all to hell. And so there's been this, I guess you could say, a movement. Something's moving. And about opening these records. You know, a lot of people like their records sealed. They like to receive them sealed and things like that, and that's fine. And for a long time, I didn't open them. But just today, just today, I started opening some of these albums, and I found that most of them are fine. You know, most of them are fine. They're not warped or anything, but I did find two that are warped, and I'm going to have to play them. And see if if the warp affects the playback of it, and sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. One I can just barely see the warp on it, and the other one looks pretty bad. So we'll see. But anyway, this is one. This is from 1997. This is a 1997 album by the band Pool, and so I have my little trusty thing here. And I don't know about you, but I like to just barely, well, this one's hard to see, but just barely get in there and start it, because I don't want to go in there too far, because I don't want to tear up the inner sleeve. Because I've noticed that sometimes people open their records and they cut that inner sleeve, they just slice it wide open. And I mean, it's not a huge deal, and but it is. It is important to the record. And you know what? This is very, very difficult to open. I'm not sure. It's been sealed so long, I'm not sure I can. Oh, here we go. There we go. If I can just get it started, then I can open it. There we go. About cut my finger. Okay. So let's see what we have here from 1997. This is Pool. The Late Engagement. Whoa! Look at that, white vinyl. Look at that. That is really pretty. I'm looking at it. Got my one eye closed and one eye open. It looks really nice. I don't see any warping on that. Really pretty. Also, you want to look in case it's damaged, and it's hard to see on white, I'll just be honest. Very, very difficult to see there, but it looks pretty nice. 1997, so that one looks okay. Let's try this one. This is a gatefold, and so when you open a gatefold, you don't want to tear it all up, because people want, like I said, they want to leave the shrink on there. This one's easy to open. This is 1,000 Horses, and it's from 2015. So it's been 10 years since this thing was sealed. What's it look like? Well, let's check it out here. So I can get the album out. It's pretty tight. Okay. I think it might be a double album, actually. All right, it's a double album. Black vinyl. It's really heavy. 180 gram, I would say. It looks really nice. No warping on that one. That's the first record. And then let's try the second record here. Hope you guys are having a good week. Gearing up for Valentine's Day. Gonna get your honey something. Is your honey gonna get you something? Chocolate and roses, fellas. Chocolate and roses. Or at least chocolate. Women's loves the chocolate. Yeah, that looks great. Oh, but this one has a very, very noticeable, you won't be able to see it if I show it to you. It has a very noticeable paper scuff all the way across the record. It won't affect play or anything, but that just shows you that some of these records, they're not perfect when you open them. Sometimes they have a little extra flash on them, or a scuff like that one, and sometimes they're warped so bad you can't play them. And I've had to refund a few of my buyers, because they contacted me later and said, Gary, man, this thing's warped all to hell. And I don't mind to refund them, because that's what we do. So anyway, that's it. So what do you think? Do you open new records before you sell them, sellers? Or as a buyer, do you want the seller to open the record and check it out for you before they send it to you? Make sure everything's okay before you spend your good hard-earned money. That's a good question. Hope you have a great week. Hope you have a great Valentine's weekend. And the next time we will continue probably with some more covers. I think I'm going to do an album review or two. I have this album that I'm going to have to eat crow on. And I don't look forward to eating the crow, but man, that's a kick-ass album, and I'm going to tell you all about it on maybe the next video. But anyway, stay tuned. Hope to see you next weekend at the Wilmington Record Show if you can get down here. It's going to be a great day, full of thousands of records, people having a good time, drinking beer, and just adding to their collections and just hanging out. A lot of it's just fun to hang out. So have a good one. I am Gary Francisco. This is Cisco Kid Records, and I'll catch you down the road.